With everything happening in the world right now, guys, we need more truth, more authenticity. Hello, world. Moses Say here. I'm honored and excited to do our first episode of this amazing opportunity for us here to create an international podcast that can reach people all over the world in multiple languages, but now starting with English and French. So, welcome to the Wealth with Truth podcast. And we have our CEO here, Mr. Kevin Caboret. So we're excited to jump into this first official episode so that way you guys can truly understand what brought us together as a team with Rama Ibengo behind the camera. So if you don't see him in front of the camera, it's not because he's not here, but he loves being behind the camera. So we're thankful to his technical and media skills to allow us to host this podcast. But without any further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce the gentleman that brought us all together to create this new brand and entity to serve you guys all over the world. So with that said, Kevin. My brother.
Yes, brother Mo.
Thank you, man.
I always like to, come here with you,
Yeah,
like have some nice conversation with you.
yeah,
You know, just right before recording, we're speaking about something very interesting
yeah.
about the fact that we all wanted to do a podcast.
Yes.
We all have that that how we can say that vision,
that
that desire to do a podcast for years now,
Yeah.
and it's like now everything clicked because we met like 2 months ago.
Exactly.
2 months ago, and here we are here
Yeah.
having this podcast,
Yeah.
like making that vision coming to life.
Yep. Yeah.
And you were saying something that I found interesting, like you find other people that wanted to do podcasts,
Yep.
but they didn't put the action.
Yep.
It was slow. It didn't work.
Exactly.
But then here, when we met, it's like everything clicked.
Literally.
Everything clicked.
Literally.
And so, just for me, it's just as we said before, it's a lesson. It's a lesson that
Yeah.
when it's the right time, it's the right time.
Yeah.
And speaking about wealth of truth,
Yeah.
you don't need to force. When it's meant to be,
Yeah.
when God planned it,
Yeah.
it will come. And when it's a vision and you have it in your heart, it will come.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. So it's a pleasure, man. I think there's so much wisdom and lesson in that because sometimes you're so eager to do something or accomplish a goal, but if it doesn't align, it doesn't align.
Yeah.
And if you force it to be, it might work out temporarily, but it's not going to work out long term.
Yeah.
So even Rama was saying the same thing behind the camera because he wanted to do a podcast. He was ready, but the people that he was connecting with, they weren't ready to take action back then. So before we go deep, because you and I have these deep conversations naturally, for the people watching us, and this is our first episode, I want them to really understand the meaning behind Wealth with Truth. And after that, I want to talk a little bit about our branding, our colors.
Okay.
So this is episode 1.
Okay.
I want to lay the foundation for all the episodes to come.
I just noticed that you put it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was waiting. I was wondering when
You
you
know,
were going to say something.
I just noticed it right now because, but usually the brand color is like white, gold, and dark. And actually, I just noticed. That's funny, actually.
I love that. I guess this is caught on camera because as you guys watch this, that was a genuine reaction. I was trying to
That's
get ready
funny.
for our shooting.
Bro,
today,
I swear,
and
that's
I was
crazy.
waiting for my men here to figure out if this was intentional, if it was an accident.
No, that's funny because it shows how this guy is actually a guy that is so much in details. I'm not in damage, it's the detail guy. Look at the detail is so on point. To see the gold here, the dark, and this is perfect, bro. I love it. You respect more than me the color. Wow, that's cool. No.
Beautiful, genuine reaction. I'm glad we caught that on camera. So let's talk about the meaning.
Let's
and
go.
We'll talk about the brand behind it.
So the meaning, wealth of truth, because while we're like thinking about like finding a good name, and the idea behind the podcast is really about like teaching about wealth.
Yeah.
Because we, as you say, with the world that we live in right now,
Yeah.
I think wealth is a very important tool.
Yeah.
And when I speak about wealth, I'm not speaking only about the money side of wealth.
Yeah.
but network,
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
skills.
Yeah.
You know, all those things for me are wealth, because that's when you develop all those things that you reach through wealth, through your skills that can bring values to others,
Yeah.
through the people that you connect with. Like I connect with you and Ramadan. This is possible.
Yeah,
With my own skill, I can't without the network.
Yeah.
But because we have the network
Yeah.
and we have the trust, then we can build that podcast. You know. So
Absolutely.
for me, like first of all, to define what's wealth, you know, is for me is like all those things that is bringing values.
Yeah,
You know.
I love that.
Yeah, what is bringing values to others,
Yeah.
and is like being someone that adds, that don't reduce, but that adds something.
Yeah.
You know, if I come into your life and
Doesn't just take.
yeah, I'm taking.
Yeah.
I don't express the wealth in me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and for me, wealth is not about the net worth that you have. You know, wealth is really, as I say, about like how many value. You can be a wealthy person without having 1 million. You know,
yeah.
it's a mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a mindset. Like for me, it's really a mindset.
Yes.
So, yeah, to just like, so the wealth, the idea behind the podcast for me was just to really teach that to people.
Yeah.
Coming here in the US for me really changed my life.
Yeah.
Because it forced me to go out of my comfort zone
Yes, absolutely.
completely. It forced me to change,
Yeah.
to evolve.
Yeah.
I know there are many people that won't recognize me. Back in the day, I wasn't that person.
Yeah.
But you know, like God allowed me to really grow as a person and to be who I am today.
Absolutely.
Through the experience,
Yeah.
through the challenges, and all of that are wealth, because the challenges build who you are, and the experience. And sometimes you're doing coaching.
Yeah.
I do coaching. What do we coach? We coach our experience, right?
Yeah.
So experience is wealth too.
Absolutely.
So the goal is really to open people's mind about what's wealth,
Yeah.
and to show them the opportunity,
Yeah.
how you can build wealth, and also in the practical, in the mindset way, practical with clear action, through like other people experience, other people like expert that will come. We'll speak about like wealth is like people that maybe they're doing like, they're like, you know, athletes, you know, like it's wealth to take care of your body. You know, all of the things are wealth, you know.
Absolutely.
So it's ready to show, to make people understand, and truth, why truth? Because in this world, I feel like for me the world is also full of lies. There's a lot of lies, and there is light that we need some light, some truth. People need truth, authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we just need to vibrate at the real frequency.
I love that.
You know, at the real energy. Like, and truth for me is like, is that thing that make people, you know, connect to you.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, human are, you know, human as spiritual, spiritual people. We're not just physical.
Exactly.
You know, we're spiritual. So I can feel when someone lies to me,
Absolutely.
even if I won't tell him. There's this feeling in me that's like, there's something wrong with this guy.
it doesn't
you know,
align.
exactly, it doesn't align.
Yeah.
And you like to use that word, so I like it. So for me, that's what the truth is, because I want people to see who we really are, to be natural, and to really express the truth. And that's what I like with you, because you are true. That's what I like with Rama, because I can feel it. Now, I don't connect with people because I'm as I say, I have this discernment with people.
Yeah.
You know, where when I see and I talk to people, I can discern quickly.
Yeah.
If there's something wrong, I'm not gonna like talk to you. You know, I can talk to you real quick, and then after that, I'm not gonna follow up with you, because there is nothing. You know. So yeah.
That's
so
powerful.
yeah.
So the wealth here is more than just the monetary. It's the ability to really add value, number one, but also to not just be a taker in this world, but to be able to pay it forward and hopefully make humanity
Exactly.
better
Yeah.
than you found it. But also the truth aspect of it is embracing our spirituality, although we all have different religious background here, but to honor and acknowledge that we're more than just physical beings.
Yeah.
We're spiritual beings,
Yeah.
and once things align
Exactly.
in a bigger way, we're
Yeah.
able to make a really bigger impact in this world and beyond.
100%, man.
So talking about the branding, as you guys see everywhere, our primary colors are gold, the rich black, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I try to match it with my little silk
Yeah.
shirt, you know, and then true being pure white. And that's a universal thing. There's a lot of cultures when they go through cleansing or there's a wedding, when there's a birth, it's very related to pure white as a color.
That's true.
And the black thing too is so powerful because a lot of wealth-oriented or exclusivity in the world, even American Express has a black card. You know, there's that aspect of exclusivity. But to me, black also in this case is powerful because we're Africans here. but with an international intention
Yep.
with this podcast, so we can eventually connect with people all
Yeah.
over the world.
Definitely.
So now that we've laid the foundation a little bit about, why we're here, our intentions, the branding, let's dive a little bit deeper now with why do you think that the world needs a podcast like this? Why is this important for the diaspora?
That's a good question. Why? Because I felt when coming to the US, I just saw there was a lack of a podcast like that to inform people,
Yeah,
to connect,
yeah,
and to build together.
yeah,
My goal is really to gather people,
Yeah.
like a place where people can gather and shelter themselves,
Yeah.
basically. And I think like coming, you like, because being an entrepreneur, you seek those the experience of the people that already made it,
yeah, yeah,
that have your story,
Yeah.
that can understand you, where you can you can relate to them because
Yeah.
they have the background. And I didn't find that, so I have to
see.
seek, I have to seek
I see.
for like other people, like American people, and
Yeah.
and just learn from there. So I was like, I would have wished at my time having someone like me taking the initiative
Yeah.
to connect francophone people. And when I say French people, because I'm born and raised in France, so like this is also my heritage.
Yeah.
And I'm also from Cote d'Ivoire, from Burkina Faso,
Wow.
where my parents from.
Yeah.
So all the francophony.
Wow.
So I believe,
Deep connection.
yeah, exactly. So for me, I'm like, there is, I think because that's make our authenticity, that background, that background, that interesting background,
Yeah.
where through like what we build and
Yeah.
what we did,
Yeah.
like people can learn as well,
Yeah.
and also we can gather other leaders
Yeah.
like us under an umbrella to
Yeah.
bring better impact, because I feel like our world needs better impact.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah, we
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, let
Yeah.
me.
I love that perspective too. So for everyone listening here, the other very important intention of this podcast, we're gonna be highlighting a lot of different international leaders. We're gonna be interviewing them here on this
Yeah.
platform, so you guys can hear from them from an authentic and true perspective. Hopefully, that really creates the bridge. As Kevin had mentioned in one of our other videos, we want to be a bridge from anyone that's outside of America that wants to come here, but also the people that are already here as immigrants,
Yeah.
to create a platform and a community for them to know that they're not alone. Because there's already a lot of options out there for business content and leadership contents for people that are immigrants here in the US, are English speaking. But for us, it's a really beautiful thing to be able to have an international platform for immigrants that need more people that look like them, that are able to connect with them,
Yeah.
and provide them a sense of community,
Yeah.
to hopefully facilitate their journey here in the US, or if they're not here yet, make it easier for them to come to the US or immigrate anywhere else for that
Yeah,
matter.
and especially, and what's interesting with us is like it's not just only about the immigrant, because we also have that U.S. network here,
Yeah.
and we want to be a bridge between also the U.S. and that international also
Yeah.
audience,
Yeah.
because I feel like with your network, with our network, we know those
Yeah.
like also powerful U.S. leader,
Yeah.
and people sometimes they need their experience, they need the insight as well,
Yeah.
all those things. So I think being that bridge, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're trying to do here
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
being that bridge and connect those different culture,
Yeah.
different leaders from all over the world, and make an impact as we can make it. So this is the idea. Yeah.
Absolutely. So as you watch this, hopefully this is content and vision aligns with you. But we definitely encourage you to share this content with others out there that can see true value in an authentic experience like this. And if you have entrepreneurs or leaders that you want to recommend to us as well for us to interview, please feel free to connect with us or DM us that information. We'll be more than happy to go through that interview process to make sure that they align with this vision, and hopefully interview them on this platform as well. And for those leaders that are local to us here in San Diego, California, we have unique opportunities to actually go to their location, showcase some of their businesses. So you guys will also see that on this channel, where we will go to some of these local businesses and interview them and showcase the good work that they're doing through their businesses in the San Diego, California market. But for anyone else that's outside of this marketplace, we can find other ways to connect with them as well.
Exactly. Even if, because we're talking about that, even if they're like in another city, there is always a way to arrange things. We want to connect any leaders, that also relate with this vision that we're doing. We want to connect, so don't forget to like reach out to us. We'll find out our information on the caption or anything. But wherever you are in the U.S., we can reach to you. You can reach to us. We can make that happen. Coming here together, speaking about real things, speaking about real interesting things that will impact our communities, impact our people, bring values, and build that thing that we are doing right now. Absolutely. We're laying the foundation step by steps, and I believe with the talent that we already have here, like we can build something great. Absolutely. Because for me, there is like no limits to human being. I don't want to see any limits. With faith, everything is possible. Absolutely. And I'm a man of faith. I like to believe. I have to believe everything is possible. When you just have to put the work. To be fair, this is like this has always would be the way. And this is something that I notice a lot. Yeah. People have lost a lot of hope. Yeah, absolutely. For them with how hard life is, especially right now with war, things going up. Like people like are losing hope. But I want to say really like, don't lose hope. Everything is possible with faith. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of like believing in whatever you believe. I believe in God. Yeah. So if you believe in God, believe in God. If you believe in that power that God has put in you, that you can do everything. It's real. There is no limitation. The only limitation are in your mind. That's it. Exactly. Like once you break that, that limitation on your mind, like you see the world differently. Exactly. And I had those limitations. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't born that way. Exactly. I had to learn to really like understand, see the world. One question that I like to ask myself is like how God see the world. That's how you should see it. How God see someone, that's how you should see the person. For example, you see someone is maybe has nothing. Maybe it doesn't have value, anything. But when God will see that person, he will see with all the potential that He's put in him. Absolutely. When God will see that person, He will call that person by what it should be, not what it is. Exactly. Sometimes people that stay in the moment like what, but remember the person that you see today won't be the same person tomorrow. Exactly. But you have to see, you have to have the ability, develop the ability to see in others more than you see with your physical eyes. Absolutely. And that's important. And absolutely. That's I want to say that because I feel like everyone has potential. Absolutely. It's just a matter of developing your potential. Absolutely. It's a matter of like working on the skills that you have step by step. If you want to create wealth, you have to work on yourself. Absolutely. If you don't work on yourself, how do you build wealth? Exactly. It's not just by prayer only. It's not just by believing only because I'm talking about faith, but you have to develop yourself. Absolutely. Like action. Speak because we talk. Can you give your? Because I know that you told me you spoke about your experience one time. How that thing back in the day created the amazing speaker that you are right now. But now that speaking skills have brought you where you are too. Exactly. So sometimes I feel like people they just use their I would say their their the trauma and they don't use that strength. Exactly. They use that weakness that will like lock them down. So I want you to explain that story because I think this is an amazing story that made the amazing speaker that you are and the amazing business partner that you are right now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So the story that Kevin is referring to, it's something that really began with my journey here in America. As some of you guys may have seen already on my personal page, that I came to the U.S. at 12 years old. So a little bit younger than when Kevin came. But that's a very sensitive age to have a major life transition because you're still not fully sure of yourself yet. and your confidence is a little shaky. So when I came to the U.S. at 12 years old, I went straight into sixth grade. And as you guys already know, kids in sixth grade, they have no filter. They say whatever comes to their mind. So unfortunately and fortunately for me, I got bullied a lot by the kids about being African. Supposedly Africans walk around with no clothes. We run around with animals.
That's the problem.
All of these preconceived notions about Africans. But when you're 12, you can't have an intellectual conversation
Exactly.
with a 6-year-old like this.
Yeah.
So sometimes it led to fights. Sometimes it led to me just crying. I would call my sister while she was at work. She worked at this salon. I would tell her almost on a weekly basis that I wanted to go back to Africa. And this is really valuable, the advice she gave me at that age. She said, listen, just give it a year. If you don't like America after a year, we'll send you back home. And then that was so wise for her to say. I later learned that that's the same advice that my mom gave her when she first came to America. But I didn't know. But as a kid, it was valuable because after a year, I started making friends. I got used to it. I became more comfortable. And that eventually led me to living my life here, going to college here, doing a lot of different sales jobs, entrepreneurship opportunities, and things like that. So when people see me now as a speaker, as a coach, as a fashion designer, they automatically assume that I'm an extrovert by nature.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I'm an introvert still. This is my alone time is how I recharge. I need to have enough quiet time even before and after I go to networking events because it can be draining.
Yep, it is.
So long story short, to your point, I've talked a lot about this with you and other leaders. It's important for us to try to get lessons and gifts through our challenges. In my opinion, God doesn't do anything by accident. We don't believe in accidents. So if you're going through a challenge right now, if you're overcoming different challenges, we want to be a bridge, just like Kevin said, to really inspire you to embrace your spirituality and be able to take action, because spirituality alone is not going to get through it. Where taking action is what gets you to transition from where you are to where you want to be.
Exactly.
So yeah, man, thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, and I love, just to finish on a note, I love because that, you didn't use, those times just as like a weakness, but you use it to like be a better person.
Yep, exactly.
You told me that you start reading more, developing yourself, and now you're the speaker that you are because, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you can't speak, that was gonna be hard. You can at some point if you have a good business partner that can speak for you. But it's an important skill for me. One of the most important skills, as you say, God spoke and the word came. So the word for me is like the most important thing,
Exactly.
So learn how to speak. And one thing that I want to do to emphasize as well, just say that you give it time.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have to give it time.
Exactly.
Even for me, I came here at 21. When I came, my English was like so bad. When I remember when I was back in France, even my English teacher didn't have hope in me about speaking in English. I was the worst. I was the worst student in English in my class. So if one day, I hope he's alive. If you see that teacher, you see, we speak now.
Exactly. I love that.
So, it's all about work. Thank you, brother, again.
Perseverance, faith, and
exactly.
So again, everyone, thank you for joining us. This is episode 1 of Wealth with Truth. Again, if this content aligns with you, please subscribe, share this with as many people as possible. We want to continue to really do our best to elevate as many lives as possible and embrace the immigrant journey and also make it easier for other people that want to immigrate to different parts of the world. Thank you.